So welcome to week 12, video 5, slides 27 to I think 35, where I give an overview of the mock interview assignment. So remember, this assignment is posted in DC Connect under the tab called Activities, then Assignments. You can find the full Word document there, and you will need to go into the Word document and type your answers in it so that you were prepared for the assessment. So the due date, your interview time and date has already been scheduled. If you can't remember when it is, stop the video, click through on the PowerPoint, and depending what class you're in, check when your interview is scheduled. There's 2 parts to the assignment. The first part is for you to prepare star formatted answers. So we just talked about what the star format is, to 3 interview questions. So you can write them in jot form note. You're not handing them in to me, but it's your notes for the interview. You're allowed to bring, I encourage you to bring your notes to your mock interview that we'll do online, so you can refer to them. Okay, and when you get to the interview, I'm going to pick one of those questions. I'll roll a dice or something and pick one of those questions for you to answer during the mock interview. And you won't know which one, so prepare answers to all 3. So that's worth 25% of the grade, your answer to one of the questions. The other 15%, though, is your first impression. What kind of a first impression are you going to make on me? And I'm asking you to consider all the things that we just talked about in today's class about making a good first impression during a video interview. And you'll get 5 marks, which is 25%. And then the other part, you get 7 marks, or 7% of your final grade, will be about your oral and nonverbal communication skills that we talked about earlier this semester. Organizing your answer, your volume, your pitch, your tone, and what your background looks like, those kinds of things. The last thing that I'm going to get you to do is state your opinion. So you're going to have a second question to answer, and I'm asking you to answer the question using the OMER format that we talked about earlier this semester. So that was where you state your opinion, you tell me the main reason, you give an example or evidence to support that, and then you restate your opinion. So this should be short and sweet. And what the question is, right here, it says it on the assignment, right? It says, in your opinion, why is it important for an organization to have a diverse workforce? Or you can choose, or an inclusive workplace. And I want you to use evidence from class discussions, activities, or readings in week 5 or week 9 about diversity and inclusion when you are answering that question. Okay, so why it's important to do that. So I've got right here some tips and tricks to answer those mock interview questions, number 1, number 2, and number 3. So pause the video, read the tips in here. Even if you have never been a member of a team that was struggling to achieve its goal, that's okay. We've learned about teams and how to be an effective member of the team in this ITCE class course. So I'm telling you, if you've never done this and you don't have something to draw upon, bring in what you've learned. This shows that you're reflective about your learning, you're willing to improve, and that you're able to apply the new knowledge from school. And it wasn't just, I showed up to get the diploma. I actually learned something that I'll be able to apply. Okay, same thing with number 2. You're going to have conflict management. So if you've never had a conflict at work, you've never had to deal with a challenging situation, that's great, but you might have to at this new work. So use the information that we talked about in week 5 and say, well, I haven't had that situation, but if I did, these are some of the things I learned in school that I could apply to solve the problem. And finally, some tips and tricks for question 3. Okay, so this is in this job, you might have to do some training with our clients, work at a help desk, help people to learn things. So tell us a little bit about what you know about training best practices. So again, I'm not going to have a massive answer. You don't have to tell me everything you know. It's not a test question. It's an interview question. So just tell me a couple of things that you've learned or that you would do to ensure you are an effective trainer. All right, that's my instructions for your mock interview. Email me if you have further questions.